Chi-town.
Chicago.
Chi-town.
Chicago, Chicago, Chicago.
Chi-town, Chi-town, Chi-town.
Hello, everyone. This is...
I'm Terry.
And I'm Nikki. And we're Terry and Nikki Straightforward. And so today we are here to talk about our trip to Chicago. And so it was a trip that we took last year, but we just wanted to come on and show you guys a little bit of I guess what we experienced in Chicago.
Yeah, we want to show y'all the flavor of Chicago. You know, I'm gonna keep it 100. Want to show you the flavor of Chicago because sometimes I have heard so many war stories and crazy stuff about Chicago. Mm-hmm. And in actuality, Chicago was one of my better trips that I had here in the U.S. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was fun. The food was good. Everybody was pretty nice to us. You know, I even came across some police officers stopped and talked to me, took pictures with me and all that good stuff. So, you know, you got to explore the country you in and explore different cities because we explored Chicago.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Chi-town.
One of the things that that I was impressed by when we first got to Chicago was when our flight landed. We basically landed and I guess we went to O'Hara.
Yeah, we flew into O'Hara.
Okay, so we flew into O'Hara, and when we flew into O'Hara, the plane landed and drove us across the interstate. So I was sitting at the window and you could see traffic going down the interstate and we're crossing over. So I was like, what is this? So that was really nice. I've never experienced that even in Atlanta with as big as their airport is. Wow. We just drove over the interstate.
We got to our room. It was a great view.
And this is our view. And that's the Navy Pier over there. And this is Lake Michigan. And this is our view on the side of our room. So can't wait to see what it's gonna look like tonight. All right. I would say I like the area that we stayed in. And then Terry was, you know, trying to get us moving quick because we needed to go get some groceries, and he was ready to get his hands on that Chicago deep dish pizza. So we had to do that. And Terry, what was your thoughts on that Chicago deep dish pizza? We went to what's that restaurant?
Giordano's.
Yeah.
We went to legendary Giordano's. Now listen, the previous year we was in New York. I'm not hating on New York pizza. So all you people from New York, don't get mad at me. You know, we was in New York, and I love y'all in New York, and we'll be back. But New York family, that deep dish pizza was just like a pie, and I mean, all the way from the crust felt like a mixture of pie dough and biscuit, and it was fluffy.
Yeah.
And then the cheese, oh man, cheese, and I just like the difference where they put the cheese down first with the meat and whatever, and then put the marinara on top.
Right.
I feel like Chicago might get the edge on the best pizza award right now.
Uh-oh.
So I mean, you know, you put in the comments somewhere who you think got the best pizza, Chicago or New York. Right now, I'm team Chicago. So Chicago, you know, I love y'all. New York, I love y'all too. But that pizza. Yeah. Giordano's, what you think, Nikki? Yeah,
that pizza was really good. I was very impressed. It definitely was something that I had never had before. After we ate, we were so full and tired. So Terry and I went back to the room to get us some rest because we were ready to take on Chicago. So the next morning. Alrighty, so here is the night view of the Navy Pier, which is right there. Can't really see it too much in the dark. And then this is still our view. Don't know what everything else is down there. We'll find out tomorrow. But I don't know which one is my favorite. Goodness gracious. The ocean or the big, beautiful lit up buildings at night. And so we were like, we're gonna hit the ground running. So we did. We got up early. And like Terry said, right outside of our window, we saw these statues. And so we didn't know what it was. And I mean, it was a lot of them. And so I'm not even gonna say they were statues because we didn't know what that was. So that was really cool. It's called Agora. And we put the information here in the caption. And so Agora, it's these are the statues or figures that we saw from our window, and it was 106 9-foot tall headless torsos, and they were made of cast iron. And so that was really cool, right, Terry? I mean, it was a lot of them, and it was really cool.
Yeah, it was nice, and then we actually went down there, walked between them,
Yeah.
which was kind of cool. Just seeing that type of art,
Some of them were a little bit smelly because, people did use the bathroom out there, and so you could smell it. So the smell was on some of it. It was hot outside, so I don't know. Chicago, y'all might need to go out there and pressure wash those things sometime from time to time because it was smelly, and for it to be such a nice, sculpture. It's some of, in some places it was horrible, the smell, but the look of it was actually amazing. It was really, really, really nice. So, but anyway, we're gonna put some information about those torsos in the caption for you to read and to get a little knowledge of. So, and that's just giving you the purpose of why they have them, who gave them to Chicago, and so on. But very, very nice, beautiful sculptures that they had there. Definitely, if you go to the South Loop, stop past and see them. In my opinion, it's just as great as going to see the Chicago Bean. So that I like. But then we saw that it was like a Ebony Jet building, and so that was something that me as a young girl, my mom used to have the Ebony and Jet magazine. So I was like, oh, let's go that way. I want to take a picture. So we walked down that way to get a picture, and we were like, wow, we were reminiscing about it as we were walking. And then we walked a little bit further and we saw some more things, and then we just kept walking, what?
Yeah, because with the Ebony and Jet magazines, it takes us back when we was younger. And there wasn't a lot of magazines for African Americans at that point. And we used to look at the Ebony and Jet magazine all the time, and of course the Jet always had, I think they had a swimsuit model in there that all the guys, this is Terry and Nikki straight forward, so we gonna keep it real. So all the guys used to be like, oh man, let me see that Jet, because they knew it was gonna be a swimsuit model in there too. But you still learn some information about what's going on in your community and what's going on in the world, really. So, it was cool to see that, because I didn't know that building was there. It was part of the adventure. Yeah. We just rolled up on it, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, that was cool. So, and then what did we do? We went on down to the Navy. We made it on down to the Navy Pier
the Navy
after
Pier.
the bean. So you guys see the video of the bean. We did, it's just the bean, not just, but it was a lot of people down there. It was a little rainy and misty, so I had to take my glasses off because I couldn't see, and but it was a lot of people, and it was very nice, and it wasn't smelly like that, like the torsos. So I think they're keeping that area clean. So they need to get down there to the torsos and get that together too. But go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, the funny part is though, I remember they had like, I ain't gonna say security, but they had people out there kind of just making sure everything stays nice, smooth, and organized. And I remember I went up to a guy and I said, "Hey man, can you tell me what type of bean this is? Is this a butter bean, black eyed pea?" And he said, "Man, I don't know." He probably looked at me like, I know he's from the South. But he said, "I don't know." He said, "Just a bean. Whatever bean you want it to be." But, it was kind of funny. But
Yes.
After that, I know, like Nikki was saying, we went to the Navy Pier. And one thing about the Navy Pier that was cool, we went inside, we looking for the adventure. We didn't know this was going on. But if you know anything about Chicago music and Chicago history and stuff, Chicago, started the whole house music
Which
movement.
is so amazing. I didn't know
And
that.
they had a whole exhibit of house music in there. Shouts out to the house music in Chicago.
Yes.
So we was able to do that tour and actually see, which you'll see some of those pictures and video. I think also in YouTube family, you will see some of the videos. So yeah, shouts out to the house music. I like house music.
Yes, that was really
I
cool.
remember dancing to house music. And didn't even know the history. All I know the song was just jumping.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know where I thought house music originated. I know that DC, home of go-go, what Florida has their, what's that jam pony type stuff back in the day.
Right.
But I did not know that house music was Chicago. So big up Chicago, because I used to love me some house music. So that was pretty good. Now, Michigan is beautiful. It was blue-ish, greenish water, depending on the day. That water was so beautiful. It reminded me of being in the Caribbean. What do you think?
Oh yeah, it definitely did. Because I was just looking like, man, they done dyed this water in Chicago. Because I know from the rumors I heard, this water cannot be blue in Chicago.
Down at the Navy Pier, and while we were walking, I know this is gonna sound a little bit crazy, but while we were walking to the Navy Pier, I was so distracted by the trains that were riding on the top through the city. So I don't know, you guys may call them subways or whatever, but they were moving through the city, and it just reminded me of good times. So I was just so in awe with them. So every time I saw a train, I was trying to take a picture or take a video of the train just riding through the city on top of people who are moving around, cars on the bottom of the street. It was really nice. It was very pretty. Anyway, so Terry and I decided that while we were down there at that blue, beautiful water, to go ahead and get a little opportunity to take a boat tour.
A lot of buildings built around here the last 10 years, too many for me to talk about. So the only building I'll focus on right now is perhaps the most amazing building in this area. Might even be the most amazing building in Chicago these days. It's the building almost straight ahead of us, maybe slightly to the left after the Lake Street Bridge. You can probably see for yourself why it's so amazing. Its widest part of the base, the widest part, is 40 feet wide. That's about as wide as this boat.
Chicago was founded by DuSable. DuSable?
We'll find out.
Yeah, I had the name correct earlier, but it's slipped my mind, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like John Baptiste Sable. I think it is.
That's close enough. Hey, but he was a Haitian American that founded Chicago. So that was news that, you know, new news that I didn't know, news that I didn't learn when I was in school. So that was good, and we do like history too. And, you know, that's part of the adventure when you come somewhere, and then you'll see in the clip, you'll see a picture of me standing with a statue of the founder of Chicago.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Cool.
And then there was a lot of people on the streets downtown playing some music. Kind of put you in mind of New Orleans a little bit. The way we planned that, if we work it down, there's no fight. Morning, we hopped up, was able to see the sunrise over a beautiful Lake Michigan. I loved it. So I love a good sunrise and a good sunset. So as you get to know us and roll with Terry and Nikki straightforward, you'll see we get in those sunrises and sunsets. Yes. And then what we do from there, we got up, had breakfast, and got moving. We were going to the zoo. Yeah,
which was so nice. That's the first time. I wish I would have recorded it, but we went to the Lincoln Zoo. Shouts out Lincoln Zoo. But we went to Lincoln Zoo,
and we did not walk.
We didn't walk. We got a taxi.
Yes.
You know, that's part of, I think, the adventure too. Sometimes you do some stuff you don't normally do in the city. We caught a taxi. You know, it kind of made me feel like, okay, we were the locals. Then once we got there and we got into the zoo, of course we seen giraffes, we seen lions, we seen a lot of different stuff. But the craziest moment, do you want to tell them?
No, you tell them now.
Look, the craziest moment was when it was feeding the lions. I had never seen this before, and I was sitting down. I actually was sitting down, resting on a bench, and I heard a lion roar, and I had never heard a lion roar that loud. And I turn around and I see a lion hanging from a pole with some raw meat, just hanging by his mouth. And I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "He truly is the king of the jungle." You know, it had started. Everybody ran over to where all the lions are, and I just never seen that before. You know. I'm sure it goes on the safari, but to see it up close like that, Lincoln Zoo, that was nice. That was a treat.
So maybe we'll be able to go back and feed in time and see it and be able to record it on our next Chicago adventure. So yeah.
And then I think after that we left. By that time we was a little hungry, so you know we left, and everybody kept saying, "Hey, one thing you should do when you're in Chicago." They kept telling us we should get hot dogs, and I'm not a huge fan of eating processed meat or hot dogs and stuff like that. But you in Chicago, what you gonna do? You gonna act like you in the Chi. So I act like I was in Chicago, and we met this really nice waiter, and he broke down everything, all the Chicago history and the hot dogs and what kind of hot dogs you get and drinks, all kind of stuff. He gives a wealth of knowledge. So you'll see in the pictures, we had Chicago hot dogs. And we had hot dog probably in
years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. But it was all beef, so at least it wasn't pork.
Yeah, and it was really good. And then we went and got us some Garrett's popcorn. We actually went and tasted some chocolate too. So we wind up seeing the Apple building and the Chicago Tribute. And yeah, we tasted Garrett's popcorn. For me, it was the first time. I don't know if you've ever had it, but it was the first time, and it was good. Terry is the popcorn person. I'm really not that big on popcorn. I like it, I'll eat it, but I don't have to have it. So Terry, what did you think of it?
Yeah, I'm a popcorn eater. You know, that's my snack.
Terry
that's like a light.
Popcorn.
It's like a light snack. You know, trying to be as healthy and working out and all that good stuff. So popcorn is like my little life. But I think Gary popcorn, it was pretty good.
Okay.
You know, it's pretty good. And everybody, when I told people that I know from Chicago and people who visit Chicago, they're like, get your popcorn, make sure you get your popcorn. So I shout out Gary, they was pretty good. And they was nice to us, you know. Tried all the flavors, but I think my favorite was just the one that kind of, with the pecans.
Yeah.
They're like caramel with like pecans or something.
Yeah, they were good. I really like the cheddar mixed with the pecan caramel.
Oh, yes, it's a Chicago mix.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like the two of them together.
Yeah,
so
they call something the Chicago mix.
Yeah, that was my liking. So that was that, and then we went back, and I cannot tell you the name of the restaurant. I mean, it's, you know, we probably should do better with our restauranting, but by the time we get to our places, we are like ready to eat and forget that we are taking pictures. And at the time, we weren't YouTubers, so we didn't need to video record our dinners or what have you. So maybe we'll start doing that. We'll take a couple of pictures during dinner if we remember, but because we're, I guess what you would call so adventurous, we want to see stuff and we're moving around, we're really trying to, you know, take in everything else and relax when we get to our places to eat dinner or what have you. So the next night we headed back downtown and we went to the Navy Pier.
Yeah, and at the Navy Pier, it was packed at the Navy Pier.
And that was like all day. So I'm not even gonna say the next night, because yeah, we got down there. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you good, because we got down there and that was the night of the fireworks.
Yes.
And if you haven't been to Chicago on the 4th of July time, they got one of the best fireworks shows. Period. Known. I mean, it's unbelievable. They shut it down around there. I mean, we couldn't even get back on the interstate.
Nope. No Ubers, no taxis, no city bus, nothing was running, and everybody's cars were stopped downtown and all the way down.
That was the Navy Pier too, right?
Yeah. So from the Navy Pier all the way back up to, what's that stadium you said?
Soldier Stadium.
Soldier Stadium, or field, whatever it's called. So we it was gridlock. It was nothing moving. People were parked their cars on the side of the interstate, and they were just watching fireworks. So it was very, I mean, and then it was boats all over, which we didn't get any pictures of that, but it was boats all in Lake Michigan, and they were out there in their boats watching the fireworks from their boats, and then people were just sitting out on the grass, and I mean, they came early. Like, we didn't even know. We were just walking around and, you know, checking things out and going places and doing things, and then we were like, wow, the Navy Pier was packed. And they had a lot going on, because we were there for hours at the Navy Pier. Yeah, we enjoyed it.
And then because it was even special, the special part too was that even though I'm not a huge NASCAR fan, but I respect it, you know, as an entertainment and sport, and they had NASCAR there, so they had NASCAR giveaways, because they actually that weekend they raced through the streets of Chicago.
Yeah.
They blocked certain areas off and they raced through the streets. So, you know, that was kind of neat too.
Yeah.
That was real neat. And then, so I think that might have added to everything, because you talking about 4th of July and that was a special occasion.
Yes. And you could see them practicing and racing through the streets from our hotel room. And so at night, we saw it when we got back late at night. So that was really cool. So that was really our Chicago trip. So anything, I don't know what we missed or if we missed anything, but we hope this encouraged you to go to Chicago and check it out, because the blue waters, the beautiful buildings, the amazing pizza, the amazing food, all the artwork,
Yeah.
And it was a lot of nice artwork. I have to say that too.
A lot of nice artwork. And then, you know, we missed a couple things because I found out as we was leaving in the airport, they, you know, Chicago do have, I think they have a couple casinos. And also they, you know, of course they got good jazz and what have you, good entertainment. This is a lot of stuff you can do in Chicago. It's really a city where you got to go back several times because it's not enough time in a week to probably see everything or see most of the stuff.
Yeah, because you can get a play in and a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, because they got Chicago, you know, where you can, like my wife said, you can get a play, you hear theater, you know, music, whatever you want to do. And then I would go back because I had my Jordans on, but I didn't see Chicago Bulls Stadium.
Yeah.
I didn't see where Money Mike, shouts out to MJ, the GOAT. I didn't see where Michael Jordan played. So I got to go back to Chicago for that. You know, I don't want to disrespect Mike like that. Mike, did you hear me? Holler at me. Well, you know, that's Chi-Town, and that's Chicago in a quick summary, I guess. You know, but hey.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. And listen, make sure you follow, subscribe, comment, share, and watch. And remember, just remember that God wants you to have fun. He wants you to enjoy yourself. And I mean, life is full of adventures, you know. So enjoy yourself, and you know, it's free to smile. Smile, have a good time.
Yes. Yep. Hey, enjoy life. That's why God put us here. And be nice to people and love on them and see the world and let the world see you.
All right, make sure y'all stay tuned because you never know what's next. You know,
we got some good stuff coming up next, y'all.
Yeah, we just want to do a little throwback and see Chicago because so many people, I couldn't believe how many people is asking us about Chicago. So I said, maybe we should show them the adventures in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know.
Because we're beach people. We love the water. We love to be on the beach. So we had to give y'all a beach break. We hope you guys enjoy our previous video, which was our Hilton Head weekend. If you haven't checked it out, please go back and check it out. It was great. We really, really enjoyed ourselves there. And check out our Aruba video as well. And Terry has a video where he did some cooking, some yak. So we have some videos from, you know, that we would love for you guys to go back and look at and tell us what you think, and tell us where y'all want to see us go to next, and what y'all might want Terry to cook next. So yeah,
that's it, y'all. Hey, put it in the description box. I'm not description box. Put it in the comments. Ideas you have for us, where you want us to go. You know, we need y'all support. We encourage y'all to support us. So let somebody else know about us and put it in the comment box. You know, put it in the comment box. Hey, maybe y'all want us to go to South Dakota, to Colorado.
Tell us what's out there. Something that we haven't
something
seen.
that we ain't seen. I don't want to keep doing going the same place.
Yeah.
So send me somewhere special. Give me some ideas. All right?
All right. Thank y'all for watching.
All right. Peace and blessings, y'all.